My name is Jim Estes, and today I'm going to talk about a drill that I think is extremely important for the swing plane. So what I want you to do is, and this, by the way, is going to give you an instant understanding of exactly the feeling you want to have in the golf swing. Take a club. You can put a rod, alignment rod, in the grip, or I'm sorry, in the butt end of the golf club. Take the golf club, turn it like you're going to hold it, and then what I want you to do is take that club, put it right against your left hip, so you're holding both clubs here. Now you've got an alignment rod on the ground and a golf ball, and what I want you to do, getting into your good posture position, your weight over the arches, feel balanced. The insides of the heels are going to be about the width of your hips. Take a swing back, slow motion, and trace with that alignment rod the target line all the way up. The shaft should be parallel to your target line at the top, and then slowly coming down, trace the line. And do this in slow motion. Right into the impact position. So this is a great feedback tool, visual feedback tool for learning the proper swing plane. Go right to your impact position. I encourage you to do this drill in slow motion, and if you have 5 minutes a day, if you do this drill every day, I guarantee you're going to improve your golf swing. So again, I think you'll find this to be extremely helpful. JimEstesGolf.com if you have any questions. So in your setup, everything looks pretty good, but I wanted to caution you on this shot. You notice how you've got too much weight. For me, on a 7-iron, your weight should be a little more 50-50 there.
Gotcha.
So that's something to be considering when you're setting up. Pay particular attention to loading your forward foot just a little bit more. That would be okay for a driver, but that's a little too much weight on the right.
Gotcha.
All right.
Can I ask a crazy question?
Yeah.
Can you tell by this picture, do my shoulders look like they're pointing? I've always had that problem.
You do tend to close your shoulders, yeah. Yep. So, not a bad position there. It's a little shorter than you were before, but that's okay. Coming down, this is nice. The club gets back right on line here. I don't have any problem with that. And there you are at impact. See, that's pretty good. You got 84% of your weight on your left heel. You're 50-50. Maybe a little more weight into your heel would be better. Heel to toe, it's 55. You're a little more on your toe than your heel there. You can see that.
How do I get all that looseness in the takeaway? How do I get rid of that?
Yeah, so one of the things I want to talk to you about, we've always had that problem.
Are the hands going out, or do they need to come?
Well, you got to put your hands in a cast. So the way I would describe this is the angle in your lead wrist. If you take the club away and your upper arms are against your chest and you turn your core, your hands should never move.
Right.
So the way this works is if I set this angle in my front wrist and I just rotate, that angle never changes. You've always had a lot of manipulation, and I think that's a big reason why you have so much inconsistency. Your hands go away, and as soon as the hands move away from your body, the club is going to come in.
Yeah.
And that gets the shaft on a horizontal plane, which is okay. I mean, there are guys like,
but it's manipulation.
That's flat.
Yeah.
You know, what I would prefer...
That should be up that way.
It should be, right. So you do what you've always sort of done is you go back on a shallow plane and you come down on a steeper plane. And now, how many guys did that? Raymond Floyd. That's it. Now, my preference would be, you know, and we've worked on this before, and I think you can get this. I'm going to get rid of this for a second. I think you can eliminate this takeaway problem and get a whole lot more consistent. Now, how do you do it? Well, there's a number of drills I would do. I would stand with the golf club stuck into my stomach, and I would just turn my stomach and not move your hands. I would do it without a club, keeping your trail and your lead wrist as quiet as possible, letting your core take the club away. What do I mean by that? My arms are not moving. The inside's moving the outside.
You always got that V in your...
Yeah.
And the club is in front of your chest.
Exactly. And so when you look at tour players, You know, one of the things I learned from Jackie Burke when I was down at Champions, he said to me, when you use your hands on the takeaway, you've got to figure out some way to manipulate them to get the club back to square. And so, if you look at these guys, they don't do a whole lot with the wrists or the hands on the takeaway. You know, the club, essentially the shaft, whatever that angle is, your hands, if you let the club go away with your core, your hand should stay pretty much on that plane. And I think you can do that. I don't think that's that hard to do. Now, what are the things you want to be looking for? Checkpoints. If here's your right toe. Your hands are essentially over your right toe. In your swing, your first move, if we put a line at 90 degrees on your right toe, your hands are coming off that line right there.
Yeah.
So your hands work away from your body right initially on the takeoff. Right. So yeah, I would say in 20 years of teaching, I think I'm more of a backswing teacher. I don't teach the downswing because I think the backswing creates the downswing.
Right. So in the right position, it's...
Yeah. So you know, physics would dictate if the club gets a little steeper going back, it's going to shallow out. If it goes back shallow, it's going to come steep. For every action, there's an equal opposite reaction. So Newton's laws of motion dictates that. Most tour players, they're going to go back when the lead arm is about horizontal or parallel to the ground. If we measure this angle, most guys are going to be a little bit more shallow coming down. That was 51. And they're going to be a little more shallow coming down. Some guys, it's pronounced.
You're saying those guys are steep and then go shallow.
Correct.
I'm shallow and then I
Correct.
go steep.
Correct. But I think we can fix that in the takeaway. I really do.
Because I think I can get away with it with irons, but when I get to my driver, I think it really...
It does. It does.
It
It does.
magnifies it so badly that I am all over the place.
Yeah, so we're going to work on keeping the trail arm locked. Or, you know, another reason, if you look at your trail arm here, watch this video carefully, because what you're going to see is your right arm bends right away. See how it bends right away there? Watch this guy's trail arm. His trail elbow is
Can
going
you
to...
see your trail arm? Are you talking about the right
Yeah,
arm?
the trail arm is the
One away
for
from
a
the...
right-hander, it's the right arm.
Gotcha.
The lead arm is the front arm.
Gotcha.
The trail arm, you know, when he goes back, the reason I use trail and lead is because left-handed, right-handed. You can see how the right elbow is higher than the left. In your swing, your elbows are level because your hands, because, you know, when you take the club back, when the club head gets, oops, kind of shallow that out.
Obviously
Yeah.
not connected because you
Right.
can see space there.
Correct.
Yeah.
You want to keep that, you know, that's a great point. You can see how the level elbows, you can see how,
Yeah.
you know, so,
I mean, he's rotating right around his spine.
right. So in a perfect world, Tom, what we would like to see is congruency. And what do I mean by that? The face of the club essentially should be matching your spine angle, or thereabouts.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean, Jerry.
Yeah, so you're pretty close there, but your hands are in the wrong place.
Arms and hands, yeah.
Yeah, I think
Is it an
you
arm?
can-
Is it an arm?
I think I think your left arm needs to stay against your chest more, and I think we can fix this by I'll give you a number of things to feel here.